Bienvenue tous. Welcome to our international press review in the papers today with Nadia Shabi. Nadia, you've got a lot of papers here. Where are you going to start?
With Martin Luther King, the 40th anniversary since his assassination. The world press is covering this story, obviously. And we found a great piece in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Atlanta being the town in Georgia where Martin Luther King was born. Speaking truth to poverty, cabinet post could at last spur measurable results. Now, this opinion piece is written by no other than his son, Martin Luther King III. And he's an international human rights activist. In this article, King calls upon the presidential candidates to continue the challenge that consumed his father, that's the war on poverty. King says the issue is still entrenched within the realms of rhetoric and not action. The next government will face virtually the exact same poverty rate as in '68, so as his father was fighting. He asked that the next president appoints a poverty cabinet minister to raise the profile of poverty as a national issue and set benchmarks by which the administration could be judged.
I'm just trying to imagine what it must be like to be called Martin Luther King III. I mean, what a name to carry through life, and
he seems to be doing
a reputation.
I mean,
really obviously he's doing something with his own life as well. What a remarkable character.
And he reminds the nation of his father's caution in his final speech, which was, there's no such thing as a conscientious objector in the war on poverty.
And obviously links being made between King and Barack Obama.
Obviously. All the papers make this parallel, including Brazilian daily Estado de Sao Paulo, with the headline, "Black and White, Bright and Adaptable, Obama Resuscitates Dr. King's Heritage." But beyond the cliches, the article makes a number of distinctions between the two men. Obviously, Dr. King was a descendant of slavery, while Obama's got a more international profile. But what it does say is that he could be the one to pursue Dr. King's legacy.
And obviously the thing is that Obama has come about because of what King did, and obviously because of the society that he helped to create. So,
exactly.
And as you say, developing his legacy. What's next?
So not quite as clear a link with Martin Luther King. This time it's John McCain, the Republican hopeful.
Okay.
He sees King's speech as chance to mend ties in the New York Times. Today McCain will be addressing the conference which Dr. King once led. He started reaching out to African American voters that usually get little attention from the Republicans, says the Times. But the Democrats have been prompt to remind voters that McCain in 1983, when he was a freshman in Congress, voted against a law making this a national holiday in the US. So it's not looking very good for McCain. He later called his vote a mistake, but it's going to be hard now to convince people that he shares, Dr. King's dream.
He has this kind of, how can I put it, he's a bit of a maverick, isn't he, McCain? And I think there's a school of thought that says the black vote likes a maverick, so maybe that might play in his favour, but, only time will tell on that one, I'm sure. What's next, then?
Another human rights issue. French daily Libération reminds us that Chinese pacifist Hu Jia will follow the games from his cell. You have it right there.
3.5 years. He's
3.5 years. The 34-year-old...
For subversion.
For subversion, exactly. According to NGOs, the number of political arrests in China is at its highest in 8 years.
Okay.
And the Olympic torch travelled through Turkey yesterday, and demonstrators were arrested there too. The flame is on the cover of today's Zaman. At least 6 demonstrators were taken into custody, just as an Olympic athlete had started to run through Istanbul with the torch. But the more hopeful news is that the highly symbolic Ledra Street in Cyprus has been reopened. And we find this very fun piece of Cypriot sociology in Cyprus Mail, Our Dangerous Need to Impress. Apparently, according to a European sociologist, Cypriots are competitive, unsociable, lazy and obsessed with material goods.
That's something I've always thought about Cypriots. I'm only joking. I don't know any Cypriots, but like to email us and tell us what you think. Nadia, thank you very much. That was our international press. If you're watching from us, Van Cat, stay with us.